Hi guys. I wanted to go live, but for some reason it wasn't working. But I wanted to come on here because lately I've been reading books. I've been reading some books lately that has been making me really see clearly how much generations before me have contributed to my life. The first book that I read was called Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkinson. I would recommend that book if you are a Caribbean, West Indian, South American, any, like, if you come from the islands or if you come from the Caribbean, I would definitely recommend that book that you read it. It's a really good book. It is a book about cycles, and it's a book about breaking those cycles, about venturing out on your own. About It's a book about also how we as children or even as parents, how we take on, we're trying to live up to potential, we're trying to live it for someone else. It has themes of that. It has themes of migration. It has themes of being an immigrant. It has themes of being Black in America. It's a really good book. The second book that I'm reading currently right now, I'm actually reading Lovecraft Country. This book is a wonderful book as well so far. Themes, same thing. It has themes of slavery, themes of being Black in America, being, it has themes of how white supremacy, and it also has themes about ancestral lineage. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, because by me reading these books, I'm starting to really see how much of our ancestors not only sacrificed and how much they have done for us, but it also showed me how much of we carry throughout generations. I don't know which generation, and I mean that as in a number sense. I don't know if I can be, I don't know, but it made me think about my family. It made me think a lot about my grandmother. It made me think about my great grandmother and her mother and her mother. And I kept on thinking, okay, Sierra, you're here today because your mother survived. And my mother is here today because her mother survived. And my grandmother was here because her mother survived. And it kept taking me back. And it took me back to slavery, and it took me back even before slavery, and how I ended up where I am today. And it just kept on making me, it kept on making me honor the women that came before me, including my mother, because if they didn't survive, I wouldn't be here. And so I kept on thinking, okay, they had, I've been in survival mode for years, probably even decades, dealt with trauma, dealt with hardship, suffering, pain, all of these things. And it made me think about, what did my grandmother deal with? What did my seventh seventh great, all the greats before me, what did they deal with? It made me, in the book, Black Cake, one of the parents died and she couldn't come back for her daughter. And it made me think about, okay, women die during childbirth. Oh, and that's another thing that I was watching was The House of Dragons. This too deals with ancestral ancestral lineage, because the House of Dragons is showing you the time before Daenerys comes, right? They're showing all her great Rhaenyra's her seventh great grandmother. And watching that, reading these books, it made me think about, okay, that was my great grandma. That was my great seventh great grandmother living in that time. That was her. That was her surviving. And in the first episode, it made me think about women. We did not have the technology. We did not have the medicine. We did not have the blood supply that we have today. And it made me think about, wow, there was someone in my lineage who died so their child can survive. There was someone in my lineage who was a slave and who got beaten and who got raped and who had the amount of trauma that I think myself, I'm traumatized, they are traumatized. And it made me think about, there was someone in my lineage who went through that. There was someone in my lineage who got lynched. There was someone in my lineage who got hung. There was a child in my lineage who wasn't able to even reach to their teens. It made me, the reading and watching this really made me deep dive into my ancestors. And in that moment, I could feel their pain. I could feel their anger. I could feel the suffering that they went through. I can feel it all because I can put myself in their shoes of having to do that, how strong they were. And now, generations and generations, everyone had to sacrifice something. Each and every one of someone in our lineage had to sacrifice something so we can live. And it really made me honor and really made me respect where I come from and what I'm trying to do. So today, right, I am me living in this modern world that's about to turn into iRobot. That's the next books that I'm gonna start reading. Is like I think his name is Jason Isaac Atwar. He actually wrote iRobot, and I was deep diving into all these sci-fi fantasy books because that is what we're about to walk in. That is what maybe not my kids, maybe not their kids, but maybe in 3 generations from me or 4 generations from me, we will have that type of world. And where I am now, I am trying to connect to the past and also connect to the future, because there's people that's going to come after me. There's kids that's going to come after me. There's other lineage that's going to come after me. And then there's the lineage that came before me. And I'm in the middle. I am in the present. And I just kept on really honoring and really just speaking their names. And maybe I don't know all of their names, but I'm saying it. Great grandmother, great great grandmother, aunties, uncles, wherever they are, where their spirit be, how to just letting them know how thankful I am for their sacrifice. Because now where I am, right? I've endured all of this trauma. I've endured all of these things that's going on. And I'm the one that's saying, you know what? We're not going to do it like this anymore. We are not going to enslave ourselves. We are not going to shrink ourselves. We are not going to just sit and weep and wait. And we have to fight. We have to make ourselves bigger than what we are. And we have to continue to go and continue to move forward. And we cannot stop here. So, because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I want to stop and just say, I don't want to do this. I just want to live a simple life, but I can't. I can't. Because by freeing me, by becoming liberated, I am liberating the ones before me, but I am also liberating who comes after me. And how I've been seeing how I ended up here and physically here, right, in this space, but also ended up in this world is because of them. Someone had to come before me. Now, how do I liberate? I have to liberate myself so that all of this timeline, these timelines between the past and the future can be freed. And that's what I've been doing lately, is really just honing in, like really seeing how much we sacrifice. I am the pioneer in my family, doing things differently. And this is in the show, a Lovecraft show, but it says pioneering is dangerous. When you are the first to do something, I am the first in my family to say that, no, I will not be abused. No, I will not sit and just be silenced. I will not just sit and take a regular job if I am unhappy there. I will not continue to think small and shrink myself. I will not continue to not be seen because, and in the book, it shows how, in the book Lovecraft and in the book Black Cake, they both have themes of women being unseen. In the book Black Cake, there is a character. Her name is, her name is Benny. Vendetta is like her full name, but they call her Benny. And she is different in her family. She took a different path than her family. Her family sacrificed, her mother and her father sacrificed their lives so she could go into but she chose a different path. She was a girl that first she wanted to go to, I think she wanted to go to art school, and then she decided, no, I'm not going to do art school. I'm going to become, I want to own a restaurant. She went to Italy to study, she wanted to go to Italy to study cooking and to study and to do that. And her parents, and then she was bisexual. So her parents didn't understand her when she's telling them all of this. They're looking at her like, why would you do this? We sacrificed all of these things for you. Why would you do this? But Benny had to do that because she needed to free her. She needed to learn to love herself the way that she needed to. She needed to free herself the way that she needed to. And that was her path. That's the path that she wanted to choose. That's what made her happy. And her parents at the time didn't understand that. But later, after her parents pass, her mom leaves her a recording, her and her brother a recording of everything that has transpired in her mother's life. They're learning things about their mother that they never knew and that their mother never ever expressed to them. And then she's coming to terms with how navigating her life now and, having, not knowing how to get her way through that. But actually, in the end, all the things that actually she learned when she went to art school and when she became she wanted to become a chef and all of these things, those were seeds for her to grow into the woman that she is now becoming later on in the book. And I see so much of reading these books, I just see so much of myself in them because I am a part of I am a part of the slavery that is happening. And while slavery it does not exist in America now, but it really does exist because Black people cannot fully be free. People is the same, like my professor, she always said, until Black women are free, no one can be free. Until one group is free, no one in this world can be free. And it's true. We have LGBTQs who cannot be free to be them. We have Jewish people, Hebrews, who cannot, people hate them. People hate the Palestinians. People hate the Israelis. People are hating. And that's white supremacy. Literally, the white is at the top. And anyone, they even show how Asians are seen as foreigners, even when they're born here. How they're seen as not being seen as Americans. We are all seen, just because we look differently or we have different colors, as different. And each and every one of us, I don't know, it might be you, it might be your daughter, it might be somebody else in your family. We each have a moment in time where we can free our lineage, where we can change the direction of where we are going, what we are doing, and what has happened and what's about to happen for future generations. It just takes a pioneer to do it. On my way coming, when I was moving, I took the train to move. And on the train, I met a woman. And she told me, she was like, "You're a pioneer." And she called me a pioneer. And at the time, I didn't get it. And I went searching and I went looking, what's a pioneer? And they're a person that goes out on an expedition to discover. And that is exactly, and then as time went on, I started to see how much I resembled a pioneer, because I'm going out on an expedition, not only spiritually, but mentally, physically, emotionally, like environmentally. I'm doing something that has never been done in my family. I am challenging the status quo. That is what it also is. I'm challenging the status quo, challenging the norm, because I just don't feel like this can be anymore. And while I'm watching and reading, and even when I walk outside, even when I was watching The Wire for a little bit, and I'm like, look at these gangsters. They're gangsters. They got guns. They got all of these things. And in one of the scenes, they try to rob a group of the drug dealers. And in the moment of them robbing the drug dealers, they're young boys, older boys, middle-aged men and boys of all ages. And while I'm watching this, it made me think about these grown men, right? They say they're gangsters, they're drug dealers, they can do this, they could do that. But when somebody got a gun up to their face or gun up to their head or pointing a gun at them, at the end of the day, nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to die. Two things in this world that we all have in common is we want freedom and we don't want to die. Those are the two things that every person on this earth has in common. We have more things in common as well, but one thing that I think those are the two things that everyone in this world, no matter what age, no matter what, those are the two things that we can all agree on, is we want our freedom and we don't want to die. And also I was watching Sinners. That also too, Sinners is also made me think about my ancestral lineage and what they had to endure. And even, it has to do with all of this mystical creatures and about spirituality and about slavery and things like that, but they all connect at the same time because we each do possess some type of magical power. And it might not be we know how to levitate, an apple, and or shut the door with our mind. It might not be that, but our ancestors have passed down some type of power through the generations, through our blood, through our lineage that we have, which is strength, which is power, which is liberation. Because at the end of the day, we are and we can be liberated. It just takes us choosing to go in that direction. And watching Sinners even made me think about like how much the endurement of what we had to go through. And he says in the movie, he's after he becomes a vampire, and towards the end, the musician, I forgot his name, he's older now, and the two other vampires that escaped, Haley and Michael B. Jordan, they come to visit him because his music, oh, that's another thing. His music connects the like all, oh my God, if you can watch Sinners, when the boy is playing the guitar and he is he connects the past and the future. If you guys watch in the scene, you see the hip hop comes out, you see African dancers, you even see Asian dancers, and how you see the Asian dancers, you see all generations, all races of people, you see the Native Americans. That's how our lineage looks when we are free, when we are liberating ourselves, when we are choosing to go on the path of being a pioneer. His father did not want him to play the guitar because he thought it was the devil's music, but it wasn't the devil's music. It was the connection that it brings. Music brung the ancestors together. The vampires basically, and that's what they knew that too, and they tried to use it. It's all about how you use your powers. It's not that playing the guitar is evil. It's about how he used it. His dad didn't see it that way, but the vampires even knew that the music could connect both realms from the past and the future to bring them both together. So we're connecting people from the 1800s with people from the 2000s and bringing that together. Those are ancestrals meeting. And all of the reading and watching all of these things, it just blew my mind on how much I have to continue on my path. Because if I stop now, if I stop now, I'm basically saying F you to the next generation. I can't, and I just can't sit with myself and do that. I can't. And so I don't know. It's so important to honor them, speak their names. Even if you don't know their names, just talk to them. Let them know that you are here, that you want to be different, you want to do different. Let them lead you their way. Let them work through you, because that is what spirit does too. Like, honestly, sometimes I don't even know why I'm doing what I'm doing, or why I'm craving what I'm craving, or where I'm going. Like honestly, like right now, I am in a place where I don't know why I'm here, but I know that I've been led here, because I knew that when I was in New York, some reason I was led here. I don't know why, but there's something there. And that's why I don't know if you ever saw the quote. It says, if you are being led somewhere and you might not know why, take that chance. Take the chance, because you don't know where you're going to end up. You don't know where it's going to take you. It might be unknown. It's unknown to me now what's happening in my life. But in maybe 2 years, and maybe 3 years, maybe 20 years from now, I'll know why this moment had to happen. And it's because something else is transpiring in the background that I may not see, but they can see, right? God can see. They're the ones that know the answer already. And I always think about how God is like on turntable, like on these little, I don't know if you guys ever saw these futuristic balls, and they light up, and it's like past, present, future. And God is like in the past doing stuff, in the present doing stuff. And God already knows that what you're doing here in the present, he already knows the outcome of what's going to happen in the future. And he's just, and I don't know, I look at it like a turntable, but I could just see the balls glowing and him just putting things in place to lead you to the next place. That's how I see it in my head. It all depends on how you see what God does in your life, the way that he does it for you. But I just want to like make people know the importance of honoring your ancestors, the importance of remember who comes before you, because if it wasn't for them, you would not be here. If it was not for them, I would not be here. And I just can imagine who had to die, who didn't get to see their child grow up, who had to be beaten, who had to come on the slave ship, who had to sacrifice their life, what my grandfathers and my grandmothers, and what they had to do just to get me here, even my own mother. And while I had a hard childhood, I have to respect her for that, because she did sacrifice a part of her life of living. And it makes me sad because I can't have that relationship that I always wanted with my mom, the way that I'm having the relationship with my children and my future children, the way that I'm doing that, I'm not going to have with my mother. And it kind of makes me sad that I'm not able to have that, because it's something that I've always wanted, never got. But I have to also remember that she had to sacrifice things for me so I can become this woman, so I can give my children the type of relationship that I wanted. Because if it wasn't for her being the mother that she was, I probably would have took for granted the relationship that I do have. And it makes me just be more grateful and more intentional. Suffering is hard, and it's the worst thing that you want to go through, but it actually makes you more intentional to live a different type of life. So in a way, I am happy that I endured all the trauma, even when the pain is so hard to bear. I want to forget it. But a part of me is also grateful for it. And I guess that's where I can find the silver lining in it, because it makes me more intentional, and it makes me not take things for granted. Because I honor it more. It's more important to me now to do things differently than it would have been before I'd even endured all of the pain and suffering. And I think that's why those are the lessons that we learn, right? Those are the lessons that I had to learn so I could make my way to this moment, and knowing that, okay, I can't take things for granted, because like, how could I can't do that anymore. I would have taken it for granted before. Now I can't. It means too much now. Um, but I would definitely, these books has been making me, I'm actually thinking, well, I'm not thinking, I'm going to do it. I've been looking into 23andMe, looking into Ancestry, um, and I want to know more about my past. I want to know more about where, if I have anybody that's out there that can tell me something, where my family is from. I know where from. My mom is Guyanese. I know my grandmother and my grandfather is Guyanese. But I want to know more than that. It made me think about my grandmother's mother, my great grandmother, and I know her name was Mariah, and it made me think about her. And it made me think about, how does she look? I want to know, I want to know, who are you? Because my spirit, usually, I don't know if some people believe in this. I believe in this, that spirits reincarnate. I do believe in that. And I do believe that whoever I was someone years, I don't know, maybe 7 generations ago, maybe 8, maybe 20, whoever it was. I do believe that they had, because of the way that I am, they were, that's where I come from. I know that I have some type of spiritual tie to someone from generations ago who practiced spirituality, who knows how to incant spells, who knows how to, I know that for a fact. And you can feel it in your bones. It's just like when you know yourself, you know why this is happening, where it's coming from. That's the same thing with me. And that's what happens even with my children. It's so funny because I always tell my son, like, you had to be my dad and my older son. I'm like, he's my dad from a past life. And some cultures believe that we are born, when we are born, we're born into, we spend, the people that we are, comes into our life, we known them in our past life. And whether that be boyfriends, whether that be friends, whether that be children, aunts, uncles, we've known them some way, somehow in our past life. They might not have been, my son maybe wasn't I'm not saying he was my son. I always feel like he was my father in a past life. He'll tell you, like, I'm your father. Because I'll tell him, like, the way he treats me, he protects me, he gives me dad vibes. And I always tell him, like, you were my dad in a past life. He had to be. And my other younger son, I feel like he was more like a lover in my past life because of the way he treats me. He also protects me, but he stands up for me. He, like, tells people what to do. He tells people, you better do this for my mom. He'll tell his kids, his brother, he's just that. And I always see that in them. And even my sisters, I'm like, I don't know who they were in my past life, or my mom. I feel like those people, they were someone in my past life that I grew up around, and that I endured in my past life. But it's just a deeper meaning of ancestrals and where we're going, and the importance of honoring who has come before us and where they're going now. And just look deep inside your lineage, being the generational, literally, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to rest. I've been on survival mode every day. And being in this season of my life of where I'm really seeing that I can slow down. I do not have to be on go mode all the time. And that is something that's the way that I grew up. That's all that I know is that I have to continue to do. I'll do it. I'll sleep later. But I'm like, no, not anymore. I'm not sacrificing it anymore. I'm going to rest. I'm going to crochet today. I'm going to take off today. I'm going to read today. I'm going to go have ice cream. I'm going to go run today. I'm choosing something different. I'm going to paint today. You know what? I'm just choosing something that my ancestors would have never chose, or that they didn't have the ability to even have a choice to choose. Because none of the people that came before me, the women that came before me, they didn't have a choice. They just had to. But for me, I am choosing to say, you know what? No, guys, we do have a choice. And I am choosing this over this. I am choosing softness over survival. I am choosing love for myself over whatever else that's out there. I am choosing to say no. I am choosing to say yes. I am choosing what's right for me. And through me choosing is freeing not only me, but is freeing them too, because they did not. It makes them see that we do have someone that is choosing for us. And while I'm not saying to live for your ancestors, but I'm saying do your own thing that makes your spirit happy, but also frees them. And that also next generations. And I'm really happy that I'm really happy that I might not be ecstatic about it. And it might not show up on my face right now, but I am happy. And sometimes it doesn't show up. Sometimes I am really upset that the path that I had to endure. But at the end of the day, I have to say that I am happy that I chose to say no more, that I endured the pain that I've been going through, because my kids don't have to go through this shit. And they might have their own type of, not saying that their life would be perfect, because no, they're going to have to learn things on their own too, because that's life in general. But at least I can show them how to manage it and how to get through it, and always remind them that the other side you're going to be okay. At the end of the day, you will live on. It is not going to be the end of the world, because at the time when we're in it, it does feel like it's the end of the world, that everything is crumbling. I've hit rock bottom. And slowly, I'm trying to learn how to build myself back up. Because my boys need a strong mother. They're going to need that. They're going to need to see me liberate myself. They need to see that. I'm going to one day have a daughter. She needs a certain mom. And also that comes up too, because it's a reason why I didn't have a daughter. It's a reason why I didn't have her yet. And because I always wondered if, if I'm always, but you have to be ready for what you want. You have to be ready I have to be ready for my daughter. I cannot just be, I can't be in survival mode having a daughter. I barely did it with my boys, but I owe my boys everything. I owe them what's happening, what I'm doing in my life right now, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. I owe them that. They deserve to have a mom that does not have to be in survival mode. They deserve to have a mom that can just be restful, and that can they deserve to see a woman who lives in a softer side. Because I had to be, and I had to be very masculine. I had to be tough. I had to do that, because that is what survival mode puts you in. It puts you in a masculine energy. It puts you in a rough energy. It puts you in always being guarded. It puts you not trusting. It puts you have a wall up towards your emotions. You're numb to things. You cannot deal with it. And my boys had to see that side, and now they're getting to see this other side. They saw it, and I was nurturing some. It was moments where I was nurturing, where I was this, but most of the time I had to be masculine. I had to possess that type of energy, because that is how I survived with them. As a single mom, that's how I survived. That's how I survived doing it. I can no longer do that. I no longer need to. And I'm saying no to being in that, and learning to find the balance. There's a time to be masculine and there's a time to be feminine. And I'm learning to find the balance between the two, and teaching my boys how to also to balance out their masculinity and their femininity that lives inside of them. And just honoring that and honing in on that. That's where I've been in. But deep diving into spirituality and deep diving into ancestral themes and what's been going on, and it's been good. Like, Lovecraft is really good because it just shows like everything that we've been through, and it gives off this magical sense. But in a way, the magic shows you how white people think that they're better than you. Even with this, because in Lovecraft, it talks about the son of Adam, and it talks about, but it also shows a theme how the Braithwaites thinks that they are better, that they are more connected to God than Atticus because he's Black. But literally, his great I think it's his great grandfather, Titus Braithwaite, he raped and had sex with one of his slaves, and she got out and had the baby, and the lineage just kept on growing from there. So the magic is in his blood. And they think that just because he's Black, they need him, and they need him because he has the blood that they need. He's one of the closest heirs to the great grandfather, and they are wrong. They still treat him wrong just because he's Black, even though his lineage, he has the powers, even though he is stronger than them. And they think that they are more connected to God because they're white, because they're, we're white. So it just shows how much, it just shows. And it just shows like, and it makes you so angry seeing it too. Reading it makes you angry. Seeing it makes you angry. And how much they have tried to just diminish and it just shows. That's another reason why you need to honor. That's another reason why you need to really say, be the different one in your family. I was made fun of. I was bullied. I was beaten. I was everything because I was different. I'm the scapegoat. I was the one to blame. But you know what? I'm happy that they blamed me. I'm happy that they think that I was their problem, because I get to be all of this now. I get to free myself, and I get to free them. Be the one If you are different in your family, if you are I'm the black sheep, which is not a, people think that it's a bad thing. No, it's a good thing. Being the different one in your family, being outcast, just just, you know that you're different. Kids know when they're different. They know, and then they just know. Kids know when their parents don't like them. Kids know. Even the kids that I counsel knows. And they'll tell me. And I get it because I know what it's like to be different. And if you are that, please, please, please have the courage. Keep being different. Keep being it, because that's your magic. That's your power. You doing different, being different, that is that is who you are. You are meant to be different and you are meant to be in your own lane. You are meant to be in your own way. You are not meant to follow the other path of everyone else's. And that's something that I also too had to tell myself. I'm really not supposed to be. No, I be wanting to fit in. I'm just accepting I don't fit in. I've always wanted to fit in. I don't fit in. I tried so hard for people to see me. Oh, I can fit in. I can fit in. Trying to be friends with people that no, I'm not meant to. I have my own. And if you are that too, you just don't fit in, baby, and it's okay. I don't fit in and I'm not meant to. I'm the puzzle piece that won't fit because I'm different. While everybody else is going this way, I'm going this way. Or while everybody else is going this way, I'm going that way. I'm not meant to fit. You are not meant to fit. You are the puzzle piece that is meant to go the opposite way. You are meant to make your own puzzle piece. And along the way, you might find people that understand and you might not. All my life, all I wanted to do was have people just to understand. I wanted people to understand me. No one. I've had no one understand me, and that is okay. And I'm learned to accept that now. I have learned to accept that because this is just the way that it's supposed to be. I don't know why, but this is the way that it's supposed to be for me, and that's okay. And honestly, it's so much peaceful on this side of the road. It's so much peaceful on this side of the road. Not fitting in feels good. I don't want to fit in. I like my difference. I like that I'd like it. It's fun. And I also feel like I'm very out of this world alien. Like literally I don't know, like I feel more connected to the earth and to the stars. I feel more connected to the moon and the sun. I feel more connected to aliens, and I think that's why I feel more connected to foreign than ever. Like foreign things, different things. I feel more connected to that than I ever have to people. And it's because I'm just different. I'm not from here. And when you're not from here, whether that be whatever that means for you, because we all feel connected to something, but it might not be like, I just don't connect here. And that is okay. I'm not meant to. I'm just meant to do what I was here to do. And along the way, it'll happen and it'll come true. So that's my little snippet. Honor yourself. Honor the people who come before you. Think about it. Even if you're just sitting there, think about it. How did I end up here? And I that's a question that I always had. How did I get here? Why am I here in this modern world? Because I never ever felt like I'm supposed to be here in this I'm like, why am I here in this modern world? But the reason why I'm here in this modern world is because I'm meant to be here. Something has to change, and they need me. They are telling me, you are the change. You have to be here because you're the one. You're strong. You are the one that can handle it all. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I've been saying it, I think of many of my videos that I've had previously, this road is not for the weak. This is not for the weak. This road is hard, and you have to have strength. And I just thank God. I thank the angels. I thank the ancestors that they have given me the strength, because of their strength is living through me. And my strength will continue to live on. And I just thank God for that, because I don't know how in the hell, I don't know where the strength comes from, but I know it comes from my mother's side. I know it does. It comes from the greats. It comes from the greats, and they have passed it along. And they said, okay, it's you. Do what you gotta do. And we are granting you, showing you, helping you along the way. But that's what I have for you guys. Honor your ancestors, honor yourself, keep going. If you are different, be different. It's okay. You don't fit in. We don't fit in. And it's okay not to fit in. We're not meant to. That's just the way it is. Along the way, you might find people who understand, and you might not. Either way, you will be okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.